Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today I'm using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder, and I think I might have a workable Starhawk build that I actually like. So, with that being said, let me remind you guys there is still a new round of the giveaway going on right now for a $25 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos, and I'll be announcing that winner at the end of one of my videos in about 2 weeks. So there's plenty of time to enter to win that. Now, that being said, I caught a lot of flack over not really liking the Nadiri Starhawk for a number of reasons. I'll put a link to the at the end where you can see that video. And I understand I caught some flack. I kind of sensationalized it a little bit, and it makes sense. I understand some people didn't like the video as much. No problem. So I decided I got a lot of feedback, and a lot of people kind of was like, dude, no, it's good. It's a good ship. I'm like, look, that's fine. It can be a jack of all trades, whatever. You know, I thought maybe you use it as a carrier, right? I think I found another build for it. One of the things I don't like about it is that, like, I feel like you have to take Kirsta a gate on the Starhawk. So I decided I wasn't going to do that. I think I found something workable. So first off, before you ask, I am using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder. I will put a link to this in the description below, because every time I don't talk about what I'm using, there's always a couple of people who ask. So I'm using Ryan Kingston's Fleet Builder. It's a great website. It also works great on mobile. So if you just check it out on your mobile device, it'll work great too. And if you like it, you should donate and just create an account. You can save your builds, all that stuff. So I'm starting off with a Starhawk class battleship Mark I. The idea of this is not going to be a gate, but Radis. Now, Radis has been changed. All right, Radis has been changed. He now only can deploy ships at range of the flagship. He cannot deploy a ship with command force. You cannot warp in a Starhawk. No problem. I'll warp in something else. But you do have range 1 to 2 of Radis now. So while I still have to, just have one ship, have one ship that's going to be the launch point, I have a little bit more range on where I deploy him. Now, I've talked about Radis a little bit before, and that, like, you could put him on the profundity, take a small ship, deploy the small ship, transfer Radis to it, and then at the same time then warp in another ship, range 1 to 2 of that ship that now just deployed at range 1 of the profundity, so you can extend that bubble out to like range 5, pretty much. Like, so that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that you can do that, but without doing that, I wanted to focus on basically the Starhawk kind of working with Radis for this particular build. So let's do some fun things with that, because I think we're gonna have a fun build here. That's what I think. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to build out the ship that I'm going to warp in before I build out the Starhawk. So, and the ship I want to warp in is probably my favorite ship to warp in, and that's the Liberty. Although I think there's a lot to be said for warping in something like an MC-80 assault cruiser. Like, I think that's cool. Or warping in an MC-75. It's also really cool. But I want to do an MC-80 Liberty style. So we're going to warp in an MC-80 Star Cruiser. They're beautiful ships. I like them. I like them a lot. So we're going to warp in this Star Cruiser. And one of the things that's great about warping this ship in is it's got that front arc, so you can kind of point it wherever you want it to be, wherever you want to face it. You can even warp it in first turn and just have, last deployment, which is really cool, especially if you're out deployed. So that much is fun, and you'll have a lot of flexibility on where you put it. Since you're going to have a lot of flexibility on where you put it, we're going to give it Gunnery Team. Gunnery Team is great. Gunnery Team works really, really well. I'm not going to put any movement on here. I think Engine Text is great. I think Nav Team can work on the MC-80 even. But I am going, because the idea is, the reason I think we can save points on the MC-80. I don't think we need a support team, because Radis is letting us put it wherever we want. I don't think maneuverability is going to be that much of a problem here. So I am going to drop a quad battery turret. So that's going to actually be a turbo laser. There we go. And I'm also going to give it leading shots. Leading shots is, linked turbo laser towers. There you go. So I'm going to give it linked turbo laser towers, quad battery turrets. It's pretty likely that somebody will be going faster than us. Usually, when you, like with the new Radis, you drop somebody in there, people are going to speed up, try and get away from you. Especially if you deploy them in that front arc. And if they don't, like, the idea is, look, if I drop this, maybe I can't activate this MC80 first. Basically, whenever I drop this MC80, the other person is going to get a chance to fly away first. If you fly away fast, I get an extra blue die on you. If you fly away slow, I probably still have you at range 1 or range 2, at least at medium range, right? So it's just a win-win. It's an insurance policy. I love it. For the ion cannon upgrade, though, I'm going to give it, are you ready? Overload Pulse. Overload Pulse, not the most popular upgrade, but if you combine it with Mon Carin for the title on this MC80, now you've got something here. Now you've got something that can work. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. You still have a lot of damage anyway on an MC80 that you just got to put wherever you want on the board. So kind of fun. You're going to have a little fun with this particular build. And we've got Gunnery Team. Gunnery Team with Overload Pulse is actually quite cool because the combo of Gunnery Team, Overload Pulse, and Mon Carin, actually all 5 of these cards will work on both shots. So there's nothing that you need to exhaust here, which is super, super cool. All right, you can Overload Pulse a Star Destroyer. You can Overload Pulse a Super Star Destroyer. You can like Overload Pulse 2 different ships in the same attack, which is really cool. Even if they're farther away, even if they're outside of blue dice range, because hey, you got quad battery turrets, extra chance at those blue crits. And by the way, they can only spend 1 defense token anyway. So a lot of times you Overload Pulse, people want to spend everything because they know everything's about to go exhausted. Everything's about to turn orange. No problem. Mon Carin says you can only spend 1. So this is like maybe the best use of Mon Carin, and putting it wherever you want really gives you a great shot to set this guy up for a tremendous double arc. And if they fly away fast, no problem. I'm getting quad battery turrets on you. So and that's one of the reasons also why I'm not doing any kind of nav ability on the support teams, because when I drop him, my first command very well might be Concentrate Fire. I'll probably be nav on the second thing, but first command is probably going to be Concentrate Fire because I'm probably shooting right away. And if you do get out of medium range because you speed up, I want to be able to add an extra blue with that quad battery turret shot, right? Even at long range, 2 blue at long range is pretty cool. All right. And then of course, if they get out of, and once I exhaust all their tokens, then the Starhawk shoots. That's the beauty of this whole thing. So lots of fun with this kind of build. I think this will be really fun. All right, so now let's go back up to the Starhawk because we have to actually build out our flagship, and I think that's important. Now, one of the things I love to put on a ship like this, that's shooting really big, and I might not be shooting with the MC80 the whole game because the MC80 might not drop right away. I just love Intel Officer. I love Intel Officer. It's one of the most, I think it's a kind of an underrated card because it just works against everything. Every ship in the game has defense tokens. It works all the time. It's great against when you need something to stop a flotilla. Oh, I didn't get that accuracy I needed. Okay, go ahead and scatter. That's fine. It will be gone, right? So I love that. I just think it works great against just about everything. And for our other officer, we're going to put Lando. And one of the reasons for Lando is, dude, I'm not running a gate, right? I can't guarantee that I'll be able to brace when an attack comes my way. I do have a lot of shields and a lot of hull. That's great. But at a certain point, somebody's going to end up with like 6 doubles coming at me. It's inevitably going to happen. And they're going to get that 1 accuracy, and they're going to get that brace. So I think a ship like this needs at least a little bit of defensive power. And I think Lando is going to help with that. All right. So we've got all of this stuff coming. I'm going to put a lot more upgrades on this ship. This is really going to be just a 2-ship list, and from a certain point of view. I'm going to give it not Gunnery Team because it has good arcs, right? I want to be able to double arc here, ideally. So what I am going to give it is Caitkin and Sholin. We've got lots of dice. We have, Caitkin and Sholin is going to mean that one really good attack that we use Intel Officer on, right? Or after they've got everything with Overload Pulse, and now I have the super awesome shot, and I've got all my black dice were blank. Caitkin and Sholin is going to help us. So I love Caitkin and Sholin. So that's definitely what we're going to do here. So Caitkin and Sholin are going to help us. We're going to also put hardened bulkheads. So if somebody bumps into us, and again, we're a big base ship, it's very likely people will bump. And also if we bump, we're only going to take, no damage, possibly. We're going to combo that with the amazing Amity. Amity title. Amity titles just work so good with this, right? So Amity is going to give us an evade, which, hey, you know what? We're slow. We'll probably do some stuff at long range. I like evade in this case. And when somebody overlaps me, I can deal additional face down damage card to both ships. However, this works really well with hardened bulkheads because any small ship tries to ram me, I can force them to take 2 while I only take 1 if I want, or I can just do 1 to them and none to me. So really cool combo. I like the way things are interacting here, and that's something that's unique to the Starhawk. So that much is kind of cool. So what else? For our Turbo Laser, I'm going to go with Link Turbo Laser Tower. It's one of my favorite upgrades in the game right now. It's really good, and I've got red dice everywhere. So, well, except for anti-squadron, but yeah, it's a really good upgrade. And I think for our blue, we're going to go heavy ion and placements. It's just an overall good card. And I've got blue dice in most of my arcs, so I think our chances of getting that are pretty good. And if we really need it, we've got Caitkin and Sholin for that. Caitkin and Sholin are very versatile. There's a lot of stuff in here that's going to be very versatile, very worthwhile. So I like the flexibility of this list so far. Now, with all of that being said, let me shrink this down a little bit. We want to be able to see everything because this is a lot. There's a lot of stuff here. So there's one other thing I'm going to add to this ship, and I am going to go with the Magnet Crystal Tractor Beam Array. And my thought here is not necessarily to do the speed 0 thing. Granted, it's certainly an option. If I end up as first player, it's certainly an option I could consider. However, and here's the cool, and one of the things that makes that potentially work, even though it's kind of a negative play experience, I'm not super big on that, is that I do have Lando, so I can afford to be at speed 0 for a little bit if I need to, because Lando still gives me some defense, because Lando I can use at speed 0. So that much is cool. But the other thing that's kind of cool is I have some flexibility in here, because maybe I want to go to speed 2, and I want my MC-80 at speed 1, and I want to make sure that quad battery turrets is working, right? I can now force people up to speed 2, and now all of a sudden my MC-80 gets its blue dice on that shot. So that's another way to use the Magnet Crystal Tractor Beam Array. There's a third way, and that is, I think, likely as soon as I drop the MC-80, if I drop it and I get this like amazing perfect shot, and I'm afraid, oh, your little CR90 or your MC-30 is going to fly away. Well, now maybe I'm speed 1 with the Starhawk. I use the Magnet Crystal Tractor Beam Array to take their fast ship to speed 1 so they can't escape the Radis drop of the MC-80. That's really, I think, one of the best uses to stop a speed 4 ship from getting away without necessarily, going to speed 0, putting them to speed 0. Because if they see I've got the Magnet Crystal Tractor Beam Array, they're probably going to stack nav tokens. I'm not going to get them stuck at speed 0. I'm guessing I probably won't, but I can really cripple their ability to fly super fast away. So I've got a lot of different options there, right? And so I can plan my nav commands and nav tokens accordingly. Do I want to go faster? Are they going to try and go really, really slow? Because I can totally speed them up. So that's kind of cool. I've got some flexibility there. Now, I'm going to have 2 other ships. I want something to be able to mess with my opponent's ability to deal with squadrons, because I'm not going to have any squadrons in this build. So I'm going to run Slicer Tools. Slicer Tools on a GR75. That's going to be important. And to give me a little more flexibility there, I'm going to run Quantum Storm, so I can do an extra maneuver in case I don't quite get within range to do Slicer Tools on my first move. If I had a nav, I can then do another 1-speed maneuver, which does count as a maneuver, so I can then exhaust Slicer Tools on the second one. So I kind of like that. I'm going to add another GR75, and that one I'm going to give out CommsNet to. CommsNet, just overall good. It's really, there's not much you can say about it. I'm also going to give it Bright Hope so it can stay alive a little bit more. It's as simple as that. So CommsNet can give out some tokens. We could certainly use some engineering tokens. We're going to get shot a lot on that Starhawk. That's another thing here too, is we're basically begging people to start shooting us, begging people to shoot the Starhawk, it's going to take a lot of fire. And we could use those engineering tokens. That is for sure. So we're probably planning quite a few engineering commands in there, because with 14 hull, and that's really what I'm trying to leverage in a build like this. It's that whole, dude, you have to shoot the Starhawk, because you're not going to shoot. I'll keep the GR75s far enough behind. Obviously, the risk is going to be of squadrons coming in. And I think I kind of counter that a little bit by being able to drop, not counter that, but I can meet that threat by dropping an MC-80 far enough forward that I threaten their carriers and kind of mess up the plans a little bit. But the risk to that whole strategy is if my opponent spreads out his squadrons and such that I don't have room to drop the MC-80. So, there's some give and take, but I think this would be a really fun list to try. So I guess we got to do some objectives too. I think I'm going to kind of go the standard route in any squadron list build. I think something like Most Wanted is going to be really good here. I can put on one of the GR75s, probably Bright Hope, since Bright Hope will be the hardest one to kill. And then I get extra, and then I can drop my MC-80 wherever they're pointed towards their flag, their objective ship, and then I can just score a whole bunch of extra points. I can go with Fleet Ambush. We do that ambush zone, which is kind of going to force them to deploy all their ships before they deploy squadrons. It's going to give me a lot of flexibility on where I deploy, because then I can drop my transports first, and then drop my Starhawk, and then deploy that MC-80 last. And then probably Solar Corona for the third. Like, Solar Corona is so good. It's so good. But anything where I don't have squadrons, I like, objectives that are going to give me some type of deployment advantage. And there you go. There are a lot of new objectives that I still haven't played yet. There's quite a few I have not played at all yet. So I may be overlooking some other ones that might work with this list, but that's kind of what I got. So basically, this is I think this could be a good use of the Starhawk as that. Look, I'm so big, you're not going to kill Radis before I get to drop the MC-80. Right? You're probably just not. I have seen games where somebody waits a little bit too long and ends up losing Radis, and then they lose everything that was set aside, which can be a problem. I have, learned from that, and I think this is an option where, like, this ship is probably not going to be defeated before Radis can drop the other ship. And I also think this is a cool optional way to use the Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam Array in a way that's not so disturbing. You're not going to, like, make somebody want to rage quit the game, by saying, hey, you can't do anything. Like, that could be a real bummer, And so I think I have some different options of using it. And honestly, I think options are always good. I think there's a lot of options with this build on what you want to do and when you want to do it and how you want to do it. Cadekin and Sholin, it's all about options. Amity, you have the option to do extra damage. A lot of choices to make here, which can be really fun. Lando, a lot of choices with that. Do I use Intel Officer on the first shot, or do I save it for the second shot? All of these things are very important questions. Where do I drop the MC-80? That's a tough one. What speed do I go at? And how do I try to utilize the Magnite Crystal Tractor Beam Array in this build? I don't know. I think it'll be a really fun list. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Make sure you enter to win that giveaway. Click that subscribe button down below, and I will talk to you guys later. A big thanks to my patrons on Patreon, too. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I will talk to you soon. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.